Is a master's worth it with no funding from Stanford? Apologies in advance, as I know this question gets asked 5 times a day. I just graduated with my undergrad degree in mechanical engineering from Stanford and was accepted to the Master's of Science program. Problem is, I found out today that I was rejected from all the course assistant for funding positions I applied to. So to enroll, I need to take out a $25,000 loan and hope I get a position next application cycle, next quarter. If I can't get funding at any point, it will be about $100,000 by the time I finish the degree. My specialization is in mechanical design, and I'm wondering if people think it's worth it to bite the bullet and take out a loan, or if I should just go into industry. I have plenty of internship experience and a good GPA, so it wouldn't be an issue, but I'm not particularly excited about going back to school and much prefer the 9 to 5 life. But I'm concerned about upwards mobility down the line, and I've been seeing a lot of recommendations to just get it out of the way. Thoughts much appreciated. So, I did not get a master's degree, so take my opinion with a grain of salt, but I do have a pretty consistent opinion on master's degrees. I do know people that have gone that route, and when I talked to them about what they did, all of them knew exactly, all of the ones that thought that their master's degree was worth it have shared that they also knew exactly what they were going for their master's for. Like, I knew one that wanted to go study turbines. I know one that wanted to go study aerospace. I'm very simple. I'm very heavily simplifying what they did. But a master's degree is more specialized than your general undergraduate mechanical engineering degree. So a master's degree is only worth it at all if it's something that you know that you want to specialize in, so that way you can work in that specialized field. Otherwise, you're just missing industry experience if you want to take a more general approach to what you want to do. So it kind of depends on what kind of upward mobility do you want to take. Do you want to take upward mobility into a specific Master's of Science coursework study program topic? So do you want to have upward mobility as a technical expert in that field that you're trying to get your master's in, or do you just want general upward mobility? So yeah, is a master's worth it? It depends on, first of all, if it's something that you really want to specialize in. So now that we've established whether or not the master's was worth it in a haphazard way, my next thing I want to think about is it worth the money? I think that there's a significant opportunity cost to getting a master's and paying for it. Not only are you missing out on, not only are you spending all that money on the master's and taking out loans, but you're also paying for all the cost of living that year that you would have otherwise been able to pay for with the salary from your 9 to 5 job. Additionally, any year that you spend in a master's is a year of experience that you don't have working in an industry, and more experience you have in industry, the more that you're going to be able to earn, and more experience you have, more promotions and all that kind of stuff. So there is definitely a significant opportunity and actual cost there. So again, unless you have a really, really good specialization that you really want to go into, and that's exactly what you want to work in, and you know which companies hire people to do that kind of thing, and you know that you're going to work in that industry and you're going to make a lot of money, then I would hesitate for the master's, especially without the funding. And the other thing you could do is, if you really know that you do want to get the master's and you already know where you kind of want to work, you have an undergraduate degree from Stanford and you got accepted into their Master's of Science program. So that must mean that you're a pretty good student. So I'm sure, and you said that you have internship experience and a good GPA, so you wouldn't have any issues getting into industry. I would just, if you don't know exactly what to do yet and you're not excited that much about biting the bullet yet, I would just go into industry. And maybe you'll find a company that'll pay for you to do your master's while you're working for them. Or maybe you'll apply again and you'll get into the master's program later and it'll be funded. So I don't think it's one of those things where you have to bite the bullet, especially if it's not paid for. So I would say, if I were in your situation, I would go ahead and go into industry and then maybe continue applying again. But if they really, really wanted you, then they would help you get funding. And it seems like I don't know. I don't want it to be one of those things where Stanford says, well, we really, really want you, so you really need to do this program. The professor's like, well, you really need to do this program, or else you're going to burn a bridge with me. And if you're in that situation, then that's unreasonable. So, yeah, I say all that to say I would go get the 9 to 5 job or whatever job and start getting some industry experience, and then see if you really need the master's program. Because, I mean, I thought I was going to get an MBA pretty soon after starting college, and I don't know how I feel about that now. I was planning on getting my PE license whenever I first started working in the industry, and I don't really know how I feel about doing that now. So my priorities have changed since I started working. I realized what matters to me, and I would encourage you to maybe start working so that before you make another large financial and time investment, so that way you can see more of what you really want to do. So I wish you the best of luck, and my answer is not worth it. The master's is not worth it with no funding from Stanford. Thanks for watching this segment of the Engineering Success Podcast. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. All those things really help me out. They boost me up in the YouTube algorithm, and they'll help other people see this great content. Make sure to recommend the podcast to your friends. You can listen to it on Anchor, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and anywhere else you get your podcast content from. And make sure you leave me 5-star reviews, like all my videos, and consider subscribing on Patreon or Anchor. All those things help me out, and I really appreciate it. Catch you in the next one.